What does Tiger Woods have to say about mortgage protection and running leads in this industry? Well, I'm glad you asked. That's the topic of today's video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Steve Houston again. If you've already been here before, you already know that. If you haven't been, we talk about all things final expense, mortgage protection, financial services, not final expense, mortgage protection, final expense industry, IMOs. We compare the IMO comp plans. We provide third-party documentation so you can decide what's your best option. If you haven't already done so, mash the subscribe button, hit the bell, and get instant notifications for videos like this. So what does Tiger Woods say about mortgage protection? Listen, even if you're a golf fan or not a golf fan, the whole world was captivated by Tiger Woods' win this past Sunday at the Masters. And I was even captivated about the whole event. In my house, the Masters is a religious holiday because we basically shut down here and watch all the coverage that's available for the 4 days leading up to to Sunday's final round. And it was a great Masters. I wasn't rooting for Tiger Woods, but at the end of the day, like I said, you had to really get caught up in the story behind Tiger Woods. And this is the story I want to talk about today. Look, at the end of the day, we're in a great industry. People want our product. People are writing in if you work in the lead program and asking to talk to an agent about our product. They have an interest. We're not trying to convince anybody. We don't need a door knock. It's a fantastic industry to get into. Learn some skills from a coach that can teach you the skills necessary to be successful and to succeed in this business, and get out there and get it done. Now, that coach, that day-to-day, step-by-step, paint by the numbers training is so critically important. I think it is the number one thing you're looking for if you're looking at getting this industry early on. Then you can take a look at the IMO they're with, and all those kind of things, but you've got to have somebody that you can be calling on a regular basis to learn the phone script, all these things. So that coaching is important, but at the end of the day, you've got to have something in here that makes you want to do this business and makes you want to be independent, free, work-life balance. And that's what I want to talk about. Look, Tiger Woods spent 11 years. It's no secret that he basically had tremendous health problems. He destroyed his reputation, destroyed his marriage, destroyed his reputation or his relationship with his fans. All these things in that 11-year span. And what kept him going? Look, I talk to agents all day long that if they call 4 or 5 leads, somebody's rude to them, they hang up and they're out of the business. So, you've got to have something, between the two ears here to control the attitude that's in your heart. In other words, what are you doing this for? What is your why? And I know I talk about this a lot, but it's important. Get caught up in that. Look, there's no way that Tiger Woods could have been able to go through what he went through or grow through what he went through, even more importantly, in that 11 years, if he didn't have a strong desire, a strong will to accomplish something. Was it to win the Masters? I don't think it was winning the Masters at all. It was winning a major championship, right, in front of his kids. That was the burning desire that he was trying to attain. He may never win again. I'm guessing that was the number one reason why he fought so hard to get back to the winner's circle. He mentioned it kind of off the cuff in a couple of different interviews, but I think that's what drove him to work his way back. 11 years, folks. We don't ask 11 years from our agents. We ask them for 90 days. 90 days to and focus on a system that works, is proven to work. It's time tested over years with a number of different agents. We know what works, and all we ask from our agents is, give it time. Be here a year from now, but in the first 90 days, you should have a pretty good idea. So again, it's the coaching. It's not the club. It's the desire. It's not the product. I don't care what you sell. Or what you're going to do for a living. If you want to achieve at a high level, you're going to have a dream that matches the success, right? You had to be willing to step up to the counter of success and pay retail. There's no shortcuts, right? He overcame all these obstacles. Again, his reputation, the winds of resistance pushed against his golf swing. There were many times when he went out there, he looked like an amateur when he was trying to rebuild his golf swing. But he went through all of those things. What are you willing to go through yourself to achieve success? Because the success in this industry is pretty amazing. It's not just about the money, it's what the money will buy you in terms of having a work-life balance, right? I mean, most people in this industry can go out there and with some hard work, being coachable, being willing to work, having that burning desire to succeed, like a Tiger Woods, that was willing to go through 11 years of mashing golf balls. I mean, you know, there wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just his golf swing. It wasn't just his health. It was also his reputation. I mean, many of us would want to go run away and hide. He didn't do it for the money. He's already has so much money he couldn't possibly spend it in a lifetime, right? It wasn't that. It was that burning desire. What he cared about the most was winning a major championship and have his kids witness it because they were too young when he won his last major championship. That's what drove him, which seems to be somewhat insignificant compared to the fact that he's got everything anybody could possibly imagine. He's got wealth, he's got fame, he's got all that stuff. You know, he's full-time with his kids, you know, all that. He doesn't need to swing a golf club again the rest of his life, but that being able to, for his kids to witness him in the winner's circle drove him. What drives you? That's what I'm saying. You got to figure out what drives you, because the winds of resistance that blew against Tiger Woods will also blow against you and I. Anytime you're on the right path, you're going to get pushback. Those winds are going to come at you, and you're going to have to figure out exactly what it's worth for you to stay in the game. If you're out the first time the wind blows, don't start. You gotta figure out what your why is, and it can't be. I talked about this on a video last time, so I'm not going to go into depth about it. But you've got to narrow down that why. It's not about money. It's not about, those are all material things. What drives you? It could be what the money will buy you in terms of work-life balance. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to build a business so that not 100% of your income is coming from your own efforts, to be able to get out of bed in the morning, go put your suit on, grab some leads, and go sell some insurance? That's what you got to figure out, because in this business, we get paid very, very well, but we're also building a nice residual income. So here it is. If you want to make six figures, what does Tiger Woods' success tell us about running leads and mortgage section? It tells us you've got to have a why. You've got to be willing to work. You've got to be willing to do some hard work for a while. Not forever, but long enough. Do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, right? Be willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, no matter what, right? But again, hard work. If you want to make $100,000 a year here, it's very simple. You got to write $5,000 a week in APV. The average application in our industry is $1,000. That means you got to write 5 apps. That's it, 5 apps. So if you have let's just say you have a 30% closing ratio, that means you got to run what? 12 appointments. 50% ratio, you got to run 10 appointments to write 5 apps. You can do that in 2 days. 3 at the top, at the most. 3 appointments, 3 days. 2.5 to 3 days to write 5 apps, right? Now, mind you, in some cases, in fact, in most cases, you'll write 2 apps and 1 home. Because why? In mortgage section anyway, not necessarily file and expense, because it takes 2 incomes today to pay 1 mortgage, right? So you're going to write a policy on the husband and wife. So it could only be, out of 10 appointments, you might see 6 to 8 families, and you could write 3 to 5 applications very easily, and you can do that in 2.5 to 3 days, right? So $5,000 APV, assuming your average per application APV will be $1,000. That is a national average, has been for a long, long time, right? Which again, 5 applications a week. That's it. So you got to have a minimum 10 appointments in order to do that, right? And you have to have a good supply of leads. You got to be spending about $200 to $250 a week on leads, not $3,000, not $500, not $10,000. You know, you can scale to that depending on how much money you want to make, but you need to start out at about $200 to $250 a week, right? Simple. It's my 10-6-3 program. It's on. You can find it on my YouTube channel. It's the Law of Large Numbers. Go watch that. But for that, over time, remember those products are residual based. You're going to build something. So someday when you don't want to get up, you can't get up, got to take care of a child, a sick family member, you can do that. I don't know where else in the world you can create the balance, the work-life balance, and the lifestyle that you can right here in our industry. Right? So anyway, that's what Tiger Woods says about Tiger Woods wins says to you and I as mortgage section and final expense agents. We've got to have a strong desire that we can identify that drives us every single day. I have on my wall things that keep me motivated all the time. I have in my day planner something that says, I know what I'm fighting for. Do you know what you're fighting for? That's the question. Look, it's not, I got a statement in here I want to read you. It's not that more money you makes you happier. It's the more positive, happy you are in your daily walk, the more money you're going to make. Right? So I'll say that again. It's not that more money you make will make you happier. It's the more positive, happy you are, the more money you'll make. And remember, the surest way to succeed in this business is to be determined to never quit. Failing's not an option. Quitting is. Bye-bye. If you're still here, don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the bell. I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.